we're Scrap and Abby, and welcome back to part 2 of my first official day of my 7-week Trigeminal Neuralgia Awareness series I'm doing. This is part 2 of the video for Saturday, October 1st. So if you want to see what this is about, what this video series is about, then please make sure you check that first video so you can kind of have an idea of what I'm talking about, because I'm just going to jump right into this. So these are the two different notebooks that I currently use, and we're going to go over the first one I was using mostly, and then we'll go over the one that I'm using currently. I'll put this off to the side. This is my Color Crush planner. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail as to about it and things because I have prior videos on that. You can search my channel. I really want to focus on the whole TN process in these video series. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can kind of see a little bit closer up. This is a special cover I made for Trigeminal Neuralgia, and again, teal is the color. So this is a Prima stamp, and I have a separate video on that, and I just love it. It has a meaning to me, and that's why I like it so much. So I'm just gonna go into this and share with you a few things. You know, I just have some different things, obviously purple because that's my thing, and I'm a purple girl. So in here I have, this is really special. This is a little prayer power of healing book that I received from my mom's one of my mom's lifelong best friends. She's known me since before I was born, and it just really means a lot to me that she sent this to me. As I've said before, I am a Christian. I do believe in God, and I pray you know, for healing and things of that nature. So that's really important for me to have that in there. This is something that I have in my traveler's notebook as well as in here. I am probably going to take this out because I'm not using this one as much as of late, or at least maybe just leave a little bit of a sheet. I don't use these in the traditional planner checklist, like, you know, I drank my water or I got the mail, things like that, which is great, but that's not what I use these for in this application. I use these as some of my positive affirmations. I learned this in my chronic pain support class I took last winter, and instead of me beating myself down, because I do that, and I gotta be careful because I don't want to get emotional and start crying, shoot, daggone it, instead of me being so hard on myself and saying what I didn't do that day, I use these in the context of what I did do that day, as far as like tasks. So if anybody's watching this and you live with daily pain or have chronic pain or had a recovery from a surgery or an injury or something, you know what I'm talking about. So I will use one of these these flags, and it'll be something as simple as I got, you know, I brushed my teeth today, check. I was able to shower today, check. I was able to get up and fold, you know, a few towels today, check. Things like that, because it's those small basic things are huge milestones for me and anybody living with chronic pain. I'm not trying to say it's just me and what I have, but I'm doing the video, so of course the examples are going to be me, but this applies to everybody, just to put that out there. So that way, at the end of the day, I don't look at myself and think, man, you know, I didn't get, you know, this video done, or I didn't, you know, get this paperwork filled out I needed to, or man, I didn't get this done, or whatever. I can flip to that day's entry and look and say, look at these things that you did do today that you couldn't do yesterday, and that I can't do the next day. So that's the process for me of why I use these. And they're purple because that makes me happy. And something else I have in here, the things that make me happy, I look at it, it's just, this is just a paint sample from Lowe's or somewhere. And then this is the tag left over. I've had this for a couple years at least. Whenever this is kind of a cool crafty tip, but which everybody knows, it's not new, but whenever you have like extra paints or sprays or things left over from other projects, this was some purple good grief, Abby, modeling paste, sorry I couldn't spit it out, that I use, and I made it a certain shade of purple. I didn't want to waste it, so I just took a stencil and I just made a bunch of tags. So I have a bunch of tags used for other purposes, so I just put that in there for that reason. These are the inserts that came with the Color Crush planner. This says, beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself, and it's by Coco Chanel. I think it's really pretty. This is the clear acetate, but this is to cover that sheet. So I have some different things in here when I first set this up. Now, ignore the tabs because this is, like I said, came with the planner, and I'm not using this as a planner for meal planning. This is all for journaling my pain. I just kept them in there just so I didn't lose them. But this is just a metal tab I put in that says strong, because that's to remind myself that I am strong, because I still, you know, make it through each day and keep going on. So I have it marked off to a certain couple pages I wanted to share with you. So this is, the reason I'm sharing this with you is because it's important for me that I kept the sticky note in here, and I'm hoping maybe it'll help encourage somebody else. But this is, these were just some sticky notes that I got from, I think, Walmart, and it's just the purple, conversation bubble. And this one is, I started to write, it says, my journey about, I was trying to say, my journey about fighting TN, because I knew I couldn't fit it all on here because I write too big. And then I did this, and then I got to here, and I was like, wait a second, that doesn't look right. And then I realized that I spelt it wrong. So I wrote, wow, talk about medhead. Look at that spelling. And I wrote, thanks GABA, because at this time I was taking, I was on over 3,000 milligrams of gabapentin a day, and this is when I was still working outside my home, 40-hour-a-week job, and other medications on top of it, and I was just a medicated zombie, and it did not help the pain. And if you look at my brain surgery trigeminal neuralgia playlist, you'll see the videos where I go into more detail about that. But I kept that in there just as a, like, where kind of like where I was to where I am now. I couldn't even spell stuff. I was just, I don't even know how I functioned. I don't ever want to be in that place again. And this is a page I wanted to share specifically. I did put a piece of paper over to cover, because it's not because it's anything like, oh, you're going to get my password codes or something. It's just because it's personal stuff. It's just about me talking about my feelings, about my pain. I do share a lot of that with you guys, or ladies, excuse me, and I'll just say guys too, because there could be males watching this too, so I apologize. I don't want to offend anybody, but because I do share a lot, but when I have my really kind of my heart's out there and stuff like that, it's just personal, and I just want to keep that part private. But just to explain, but there is some text here. So this is what I do, is I try to make my pages look like scrapbook layouts, or a mixed media canvas layout, or something like that, because that's what makes me happy and keeps me motivated. Now, you may not want to go through all this, because maybe number one, you're not even a paper crafter, or you don't even do anything like this. You're just a simple, with a basic sketchbook or line journal, and you just put, pen to paper. Nothing wrong with that. That's totally fine. You need to just customize it and make it to what fits you and your needs. This is what helps me. So that's kind of why I did it this way. And I make these ahead of time, because I think I already said it. I said it in my first video. I don't want to have the pressure on myself when I'm at the end of my day and I'm hurting really badly to have to throw down a couple strips of washi or whatever, just because I don't want it to be plain, because that's just not what I really like. And I don't think I mentioned this, but I do my, if I said, I apologize, I do my entries in the evening, because it's important for me to end my day, no matter how bad it was or how semi-good it was, on a positive, meaning, I write down what I did that day, what I was able to do that day, what my pain let me do and not do, if I had an appointment that day, or, I whatever, things in that, around that topic. And then I always put a hashtag at the bottom, one of my hashtags that I make that I've made on Instagram for myself. I'll use, like, hashtag, take that TN, or hashtag keep strong, things of that nature. Try to have a little bit of a positive, even though my day's really been horrible or something. And that's kind of why I write at the end of the day, because I obviously have no idea at the beginning of the day what I can do and what I can't do. So that's how I journal. I know some people journal kind of throughout the day, and I do too when I do normal journaling, I guess you want to say. I'm just trying to document the day, like a vacation or something. I'll journal just kind of when I want to. But as far as my pain, I do it at the end of the day, with the exception of when I was home recovering from surgery. Of course, that was different, because I need to keep track of how I was feeling and stuff per my neurosurgeon. So that's this one. I don't use this one as much as I used to, and the main reason why is because I write pretty big, and I don't feel like I have enough room to write as much as I want. I didn't really want to have, anywhere from, 1 to 6 pages for one day's entry. Nothing wrong with that, but I just didn't want, I really wanted more freedom to kind of do a bit more of the art journaling. So that's the main reason I stopped using this one as my everyday, but I still will look back and see prior things that I wrote, and I can kind of see where I came from, because I don't struggle as bad. That's not true. I'm talking about when I first came home from surgery is what I meant by that. So let's move on to the next one. I'll put this one over here. This is my Foxy Fix Lilac number 7, and right now I just call her my Lilac Beauty. This isn't the permanent tassel. I just put this on there just so she wasn't plain for the video. So I have several videos on this as well. I'm not going to go into detail about when I got it, what's in it, blah blah. I'm just going to focus solely on the journaling part. So you first open this up, and then And here's kind of the same principle as in the first video. I keep different things in here too that I can use to encourage myself, different stickers and some different little bits of phrases and little bits of cardboard and or different journaling pieces and stuff for tip-ins and things like that. And I have a separate video on this. This is yellow paper house insert. So I do have some pages marked that I'm okay sharing with you. So this is the cover here, and I have, like I said, a video on all of that. But this is what I wrote day 1 in my Foxy Fix, and it's September 4th, 2016. So that is the day that I moved out of my Color Crush into my Foxy Fix. So I just have a little tip-in down here. This is from the Scarlet Planner Society Scarlet Lime, and it says, I may have TN, but TN does not have me. Hashtag take that TN. Sorry, I should be holding this up so you can actually see it. So that's one of my hashtags, original hashtag I made on Trigeminal Neuralgia, and I think it's awesome that all of us are adding to that, because there are a lot of times I want to connect and try to meet other people who also have it. I gotta take this off, it's bugging me. By just searching hashtags on Instagram for anything. I mean, obviously you can do it, it's just like a Google search, but it's Instagram. So that's really the main reason I do that, so I can have other people find me if they want to, you know, have another person to communicate with that has it. So, and then this here, I covered up the first page because I started journaling there, but I left this first back side of the first page blank because I want to do some art journaling when I get this one filled up. And then this is just basically, you can read out of this part. It says, September 4th, 2016. Today marks the first day that I'm journaling in my Foxy Fix. I'm using this as my journal and pain log for trigeminal neuralgia and anesthesia dolorosa. So that's kind of the opener there. I'm not very good at hand lettering. That isn't even it's supposed to look good. That's just what I did. So don't judge me harshly, please. And I'm just going to do kind of a quick flip of the pages because I don't like it for reasons I already said, but just to kind of give you a visual of, and I'm going to back out just a little bit just in case you can read my writing. It's just ramblings about me and my pain and things of that nature. And so just kind of give you a little quick flip of the way I've used the different elements that I shared with you in the first part of the video, things like that, just different washi tape samples down the middle, some journaling cards, things like that, different clips and things. So I did want to share this one. Actually, let me pull this back for quick here. Was it this one? No, it was this side. This side here, I covered up all the personal stuff. So I'll zoom back in a little bit so you can see. So this is how I kind of incorporate some of the different die cuts, some little bits of paper bits. I just incorporate them in here, and sometimes I'll go around with my American Crafts pen that I shared with you in the first part of the video, or my doodle pen, and just make some black lines around it just to kind of give it another element, because that's what I like. And then this is some of the word washi that I use, and it just says keep going, so it's positive for me. This here at the bottom, that little triangle, that's how I use those little stickers. That's how I record my pain level for at the end of the day. Now I really don't like that pain scale from 1 to 10. I don't think it's really accurate, and I am at a I've never been below a 6 since this started, and that's the truth. And so I have really high pain level days. I'm actually making it my own for me to use personally, and you know, I'll share that with you once I get it figured out in case you might like that too. And then this is covered up you know, entries, but I wanted to show you one of my different tip-ins here, and I need to actually put a piece of paper underneath that because I forgot to cover that. Sorry guys, just 1 second here. There we go. I just want to make sure I'm not sharing with the whole interwebs my ramblings when I'm in pain. But so this here is just another one of those journaling cards. This is actually Project Life, I think, and it says today is a gift, and I like that. And then underneath here, I just flipped it up, and this is just one of the verses that I found in one of my Bible books that I have. You can read that, pause it if you want to read that yourself. So I just put that in there because I do believe in healing, and I pray for that for myself every day. So, as well as for other people, other friends and family that have illnesses and things too. So, and then the next one, let's see here. Now we're going to be getting into my, let me show you this real quick just in case you're curious of how you can use some of the different word strips and stuff. Let me get a piece of paper here real quick. Sorry guys, thought I was a little more prepared. So this here is another tip-in on this page, so it's flipped down like that, just to share with you how I'm using those word stickers in case some of you are like, well gosh, what would you do? I just slap them to the page, that's it, because what that does is and this is one of the stickers from Hobby Lobby on there, and then I hand drew that arrow obviously because it's really rough. This just gives me encouragement. and I'll flip back to prior entries, and I'm like, oh, you know, it just helps me. So that's how I use them. You could use them however you want, or not use them if you don't want to in your journals. It's up to you. So this is a this here is the one of the calendar inserts, also from Yellow Paper House. I chose this to be undated because I wanted to start this one. I wanted to start it, and it's craft. I haven't decorated the front yet. I will also do that once I get this full and completed. I just have some washi on there for right now. So I wanted to share with you really quickly. I marked page here. So this is starting for October, and obviously September is already full, and I can't share that with you because I have like medical information on those pages. That's the reason why I'm not. Now this comes like this. It comes plain white. You can get all kinds of colors. Yellow Paper House has a ton of different inserts for all kinds of notebooks and such. But I wanted it to just be white and plain because I wanted to have the option to do some different art journaling. So I was just playing around with some different sprays and watercolors and paints and things like that. You may not like this. This might be really ugly to somebody, and that's okay because not everything is for everybody, you know what I mean? I chose this color palette because, again, teal is the color for TN Awareness, and then obviously I'm a purple girl, and I wanted to kind of mix in some of my gold distress stains. So that's kind of what I did with this here, and this is what I do with it. I write down like appointments. That's what this is. This one that I don't have covered is, you know, October 7th, which is TN Awareness Day, and I'm hashtag take that TN, and then this is just some medical information there. That's why that's covered. So that's what I do, and then you know, I might play around with using like some of my distress crayons. I got these. I haven't done a video on them yet, but kind of playing with some different mediums, maybe gelatos, things like that. Just to kind of have creative play, keep myself creative. It's all part of that process. So let me just back out here a second again, because I didn't mark off everything I have covered or I wrote. So this one here, this is getting us into today's journal. This is what I wrote down yesterday. Some days I'll take 2 pages. Sometimes I'll take just a half a page. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day. But I really try to have at least an entry every day, no matter how short it may be. So this is what I'll use for tonight. And as I told you in my first video, I set these up, you know, days in advance. So sometimes I'll get to them like, I don't like that so much, but you know, it's already there, so I'm just going to leave it. And not that I don't like this page, that's not what I meant. But anyway, so this is what I'll do for tonight. I'll write here. And then I went ahead and already set up the rest of the pages in here as well. This is just some of the fabric washi or fabric tape from Dollar Tree. I did this because I like the texture, because I like to fiddle and mess around with things. I have a bad habit, real quick, of doing this with my fingernails, and I make like, you know, pick at my thumbs, and it just drives me nuts. So that's why I have thumb rings, because they swivel, and I kind of play with it, you know, kind of like a worry stone. But I like this because sometimes I just like to sit there and feel the different textures. That's why I did that. And then I have these 2 pages here, and then we're to the very last page, which I didn't finish because I wanted to leave that open in case I wanted to do some additional art journaling, or maybe put some pictures in here or something. I don't know. We'll see. And this is the back page, and that's the end of that particular insert. So I want to order some more, but I'm also going to be making my own because I have the materials and stuff to do that. So I like to support shops in that, and buy things obviously with a number of haul videos on my channel, but I really want to make a lot of these my own because I can do it, and it's creative for me. So this is an insert I made. I have a separate video on that as well. I won't go into all that. This is a junk journal, but this is, I wanted to share with you here. This is in here so I can have a little bit of creative playing here as well. It may not have nothing to do with my journaling, which I'm really going to keep in these pages, but this is kind of like, a lot of people call it a brain dump. It's not that I don't like that phrase, it's just not, that's not really what I want to call it for me. This is really more of just kind of a, I don't really have a good word for it, but this is kind of my creative space, I guess, to put things. So on this particular insert, I just wrote down here ideas, and it's when my pain is so high, to think about creative things, and so that's what I've done. And so in here, and I've covered it because I want to keep some stuff private until I'm ready to share with all of you, but these are just some different YouTube ideas. Now this is not my official list, clearly. I have a completely separate spiral bound notebook that's full of stuff, things I've already done, things I haven't, things I'm going to be doing. This is just an interim place for me to write it, then I can transfer, or you know, pop this out and stick it in that main idea book that I have. Just I wanted to give you an example of what I'm using a junk journal for in here. Maybe I just want to put different washi tape samples one day, or I want to write, you know, TN sucks, and just put like a burly, angry looking face. Whatever gets me through the mood I'm in, so, you know, whatever. So that's why I have that in there. This is another one that I made. This is out of watercolor paper, and this is going to be so I can take a lot of my And this here I wrote, it's a place for creative play as I distract myself from the TN and 80 paint. So that way, if I want to take my distress crayons, or say I want to take my container of my distress markers, or my Stampin' Up, my Stampin' Up markers, or whatever, and I just want to play with different things that I can do in my room and not make a total mess. That's what this space is for. So that's why I have that in there. And then this is the back part of that front pocket. This just holds more die cuts, and I need to fill this up again because I'm running out of the ones I really want to use. These are some different Webster's Pages inserts that I got. I was messing around with some different watercolors and things like that in here. That's why I just stuck it in here. This one here, I'm not worried about showing this because the names that are written in here, they actually commented publicly on my YouTube channel. So this is information that anybody can see off of the various videos. That's the reason why I'm not covering up names, because, and I'll zoom it just a little bit, but just to let you know, so whenever I sit at I'll take my laptop in my bedroom, and that's really when I get caught up on comments. Well, I'm not yet, but I'm working on it. And I sit in there because I can be editing videos in the background and then replying to comments. And then when any of you watching my videos, whether it's a TN video or not, if you say, leave me a comment like, oh, how did you make this? Or what did you do for that? And if it's not something that I can easily answer back and fully explain it, I'll write it down in here. So I add it to my official list of YouTube things to do or projects or whatever, then I can make a note to make sure I answer that video with or answer that question as a visual. So like, you know, YouTube comment ideas and suggestions, like just the first one here, I had a viewer, Peach and Sweetie is her name, on my Dollar Tree and Belle's video. She said that on the Dollar Tree lace stickers that I hold, she said that she's used them as stamps by adding foam backing. That's a fantastic idea. I've never thought of that. So I want to try it and give her credit. And the reason I put the name is so I can do that. And then when I'm answering questions on videos, I can, you know, personalize it by saying, you know, this video is because Angela Perkins, on my fabric book video, she asked for a tutorial on book assembly. With and without paper in each page. So I want to make sure I'm giving you guys proper credit and thanking you for the idea or to answer your question. That way I can help with that. So this is what I've been doing and I'm going to continue to do. Hopefully as my channel grows, if it gets, you know, to be something I can't really maintain, I may not be able to do every single one, but as it is now, my goal is to do as many answers to questions as I can, and if I feel like it's something I need to answer in a video, that's what I'll do. That's why that section's there. And then this one here is what? Oh, this is just a blank one. I did start to do a little bit of journaling when we first came out to Florida. It doesn't matter because it's already past stuff, but like our travel day, flying from Oregon to Florida, this is when we first flew to Florida to look for a house for my husband to sign the official contract paperwork for his job, that kind of stuff, because we relocated from Oregon to Florida in June of this year. So that's pretty much what's in this journal at this point. I'm sorry this video is almost 25 minutes. I didn't mean for it to be quite that long, but it's hard for me to say all this in one video. That's why I made two separate ones. So if you have any questions about either of the you know, the Color Crush Planner or the Traveler's Notebook, questions maybe I didn't really fully answer, or maybe you didn't understand what I was trying to express, or a suggestion on something, please feel free to comment below and let me know. You're also always able to send me a private message here on YouTube. You can also send me an email to scrapandabby@gmail.com if you're not comfortable putting your question or whatever out in the public like that. And if you ever do contact me privately and you want me to maybe do a video idea or answer a question via a video, and you don't want me to mention your name, whether it's your real name or your YouTube handle, please let me know in that email or message, because I do not want to disrespect anybody's wish to remain private and confidential. So you have to tell me that or else I won't know. So I just wanted to share that with you. So thank you so much for joining me on day one of my 7-day my 7-day Trigeminal Neuralgia Awareness Week, because I'm doing that, I'm doing the week. But the National Trigeminal Neuralgia Awareness Day is Friday, October 7th. So I hope you liked my 2-part video series for today, and please come back to my channel tomorrow because I will have another video for you surrounding my trigeminal neuralgia and just different things about awareness. So thanks so much for watching, and I will have other crafting videos mixed in between, but these will be separately when I upload them, they're going to be instantly moved into my TN brain surgery playlist. That way people come into my channel don't have to try to sift through videos about this stuff when they're not interested in that. Maybe they want to see how I did whatever it was I did, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, whatever, or last week, just to kind of keep it neat and clean. So thanks so much for watching, everybody, and let me share this awareness in this part of my life with you. So happy scrapping, happy crafting, happy planning, and I'll see you in my next video. And hang in there for everybody with TN. We're all in this together, and just try to remain positive. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.